though you was terrible yesterday. But when Arsenal fans said to Pablo Mari's better than him, I knew not to take man in. You know, again, looking at it from a tactical point of view, it's all meaty, man. Like, bro, listen, Lacazette's dropping deep. That's cool. That's his game. But Smith Rowe and obviously whoever else is out there on the left-hand side, it's Smith Rowe and Saka. They can't always run in behind. So obviously, like you saw Smith Rowe, he wants to come in. Sometimes we need our striker and he's dropping deep. As I was saying, if Lacazette's not there, brother, you're going to push the... Obviously, you're going to respect these two in particular, but you're going to push the line further forward. You're going to back yourself in a foot race. You're going to say midfielders, Gallagher, whoever, go get forward, brother. What is it? And Odegaard in no man's land, Lacazette everywhere but trying to score goals. Smith Rowe trying to do a thing. Our back four disjointed as hell. It's not narrow enough. It's not tucking in enough. You know, let's just say that this is Xhaka and not Smith Rowe. I felt he could have screened this role, and I'll show you a lot again. But it was just a shambles, man. It's a shambles. It's a shambles. But we tactically take ourselves out the game before we play them. Like you can see, there's only icy freeze in Crystal Palace. Natural athletes are us. Slot, Zaha, Beerman. You know, even the geezers like Gallagher run around for days. We're in trouble with that. We could not cope with that. We couldn't cope with it. And the problem is we can't switch the plan Bs and all these things. A part of me was screaming before it happened, bro, you might as well switch to a back three. Tavares come off, slap holding on, be humble. Saka go up and do left back. And then try something in that regards, man. You know, you still got the men in midfield. Again, Xhaka go and surveil the thing as well, where you rely on Saka's pace, Xhaka guiding it and holding or something, just protecting it. Obviously, Partey's in the six. Hopefully, there's communication. It weren't a thing like that. It weren't to be, people. Obviously, how do you start that again? Sorry, how do you wipe all of this, man? The pressing is dead as well. Like there's no point pressing one man. Like it's so shit. Like it was so shit yesterday. What is the point? Like, I'm not even, you know, you weren't pressing, you weren't interested. But Odegaard or Lacazette, man, one man's pressing. They're just gonna pass it around you. Like, come on now. Like, football's a simple game. If you're pressing on your J's, it's not smart. Man, they're just gonna pass it around you and you're gone. And that's what was happening. Sometimes we're not committing, we're not joining the press enough, and they're simply just passing it around us. You know, if we quickly just look at well, we knew he's in trouble. You know, Mateta, physical handful. How he didn't get a yellow, I don't know, but physical handful in the middle with his back to goal. People getting tight to him. Gabriel, certain man showed their age. Gabriel getting in handbags. Ben White just savaged. Yeah, he's working the shoulders. You know, again, Zaha, we all know what Zaha's on. My man always, bruv, he knew he was getting compilations in that game, just taking on Cedric for as much as he wants. Tavares collapsed himself before anything, you know, absolute collapse. And when you go and look at the first goal for me, brother, again, not to scale, but again, to highlight the lack of communication, people are missing out on 50-50s. People are not communicating. There's two men going for the same fucking ball. There's no communication. Two men are going for the same thing in Ben White and Cedric. Cedric, man have to talk. You either tuck in and let Ben White do that, or Ben White, get your flipping self back and let him do that and deal and sweep up. Instead, I don't know what you're both doing. You're both doing a madman thing. It didn't bang. You know, you've clattered into Zaha. And then obviously people from that, bro, you know, Gallagher stood over it. Again, not to scale. But I'm not being funny. It's a goal that you'd expect a team like Crystal Palace to play against us, rightly so, but I'm here for it. It's, you know, it's simple business. Again, not to scale. Let's just make things look a bit more prettier. You know, Tavares, they knew you're soft. They knew you're soft. Simple, not to scale. Ball's been cut back, being put across, you know. 50-50s, we're losing it too much. Man, I'm not lose. This is the one thing. You've got to turn up and win your 50-50s. You know me, on the best of days, I'm a passion merchant. So when I'm seeing people not winning 50-50s, not leaving something on their opponent, you know, just one little tackle like that can gas up the man them. You have to silence the crowd. You didn't do none of that. Simple as that. We're not winning our 50-50s. He's headed back across, and Mateta deserves it, bro. Man, I'm moving like Lukaku and Jogba in that. Like, he gets his goal. The second goal is Bandulu as well. Like, it's absolutely Bandulu. Again, Granit Xhaka. Specifically, it's more than just them. It's more than like when I'm just naming players. Collectively, we're making several errors, just like at Watford. And what annoys me is Arsenal fans will just focus on several players. Gabriel and Tavares, don't know what you man are smoking, considering that you both are young, but you both speak Portuguese. No clue what the hell is going on with you two. You two are smoking something serious. But yeah, Lacazette, to start off with, I think Gurhi's over here. Lacazette, who's not quick. Lacazette and Xhaka both do piss poor there in that regard. I think it goes to Anderson, if I remember correctly. Anderson says, you know what, I'm spraying that. He's obviously sprayed that towards AU. I don't know what Bandulu bullshit Gabriel's done, but either way, long story short, AU, you know what script it is against us. He's bagged in it. It's Bandulu. It's terrible. So nothing went right. You know, second half, we did look a bit better. We had half chances that could have changed the game. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, or nothing. It didn't happen, innit? We lost. And as much as we say we're better in the second half, maybe even better than Palace at some aspects, all we had is possession. And what do you do with possession? Come on now. You know, I do think Arteta showed some naiveties, but it's on the players, man. That was Bandulu. That was terrible today. Yesterday. Only positive I'd say is probably Martinelli and Lokonga. That's the most confident I've seen Lokonga look away from home in a hot second. Of course, the age we're at, these things are going to happen. It's a reality check, but it didn't need to happen. And for me, it's happened. Listen, take nothing away from Crystal Palace. Fundamentally, that's happened because we haven't turned up. When the first whistle was gone, you haven't turned up. You weren't there for a game of football. I don't know what you lot were doing in the weeks, in the off period. I don't know what you lot were doing all yesterday, but I never saw people who wanted to play football. So we hold our licks, we go again. It could have been worse. We could have a worse platform. You know, hopefully it serves as a reminder because the games ain't getting any easier. You have to respond to Brighton. Brighton have been shit for a hot sec. You know what Graham Potter is on. Brother, and again, people, let me scroll down because I watched this game again. That's actually why I'm a bit late, people. What went right? Yeah, I ain't got nothing for what went right. I actually don't have a bullet point. You know, backline, what went wrong? Backline all over the place. Not clearing our lines, not communicating. Fullbacks on the Bandulu thing. Centre backs deserted. People showing their age, even though age is no excuse. Losing 50-50s. You know, not even trying to compete. Struggling to play 5-yard passes. For me, it looked like everybody else is taking responsibility. Like if I'm a fullback and a centre half and it's gone in between, I'm not seeing a centre back or a fullback claim responsibility on that and then shout out and then shout out man after. People are looking at other people to make the difference. Pussy old thing. Key injury scares me. We're not pressing together. It's just a shambolic thing. Shambolic. You know, I'm a big Martin Odegaard fan. Not turning on Odegaard. You were meaty. Still rock with the young players. I won't blame any of the young players. You all did a lot better. You know, Cedric's done well in terms of form. But stop making interviews and chatting. You're not 30 when it comes to this sort of thing. Tavares, away games, you're not the guy. Odegaard, you need to get back with it. Lacaz's too limited. But what the hell do we do past that? And that's probably one for Edu and Arteta going back to January or in the summer. We knew that we needed a lot to go right for us to get top 4 in terms of keeping this squad fit. You know, it's a squad game. So while injuries can play a key part, it is what it is. Arteta signed off on all these players. He believes in them, rightly or wrongly. You know, Tavares, I hope he improved, but I'm screaming new left back now, man, just because, you know, Tierney's a flight risk, man. I love Tierney, but man can't stay fit in times like this. We need someone 30. Tavares, I have no doubt that you might come good, but I said it before you signed, you're just on a madman thing. You don't look like a thinker's left back. You're just on a madman thing. And when you're playing at home against low blocks, when the sun's shining, it's cool. South London, where it gets nitty and gritty, and one of the shittest parts of South London in Deep Croydon, the man got trams and that. You're going to get savaged. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be ugly. You know, performances like that has been coming. It's very disappointing that it's another away game we've bottled, another Monday night fixture we've bottled, which they've also moved Newcastle to that. Horrible, man. Too many players showed their age, but too many hot and cold players. You know, too many hot and cold players. Eddie and Ketty, again, Eddie's not relevant to yesterday, but he's hot and cold. Laka is hot and cold. Cedric is hot and cold. Tavares is hot and cold. Xhaka is hot and cold. It's meaty. Like, it's crazy meaty. Like, hey, we're going to be in trouble. Like, we deserve to get finessed, bro. Like, you saw the absence of Tierney. You saw the absence of Tomiyasu. Bro, Zaha's not getting that change out of him, man. What frustrates me, as I said, I'm vexed that we lost 3-0. I'm vexed that it's a bitter pill to swallow in terms of the top 4. But what I can't understand is we can't account for anything that happens. But what we can account for is turning up. Turning up's after battle. I never saw a man turned up. Guys look down the barrel of defeat, and rather than standing up to be counted, succumb to it and curled into a ball. And woe is me. I never saw a man fighting. Everyone wants to fight when it's sunny at the Emirates and we're winning and fans are gassing it. When there's every reason not to play, when mistakes are happening, when you tried something and it didn't bang, when you've made a mistake, you need to react. This is what gets you league titles, top 4, etc. The pressure's on, the pressure cooker's on. If man can't take the heat, get the fuck out of the kitchen. Respectfully to Crystal Palace, if you can't do it against Palace, Southampton, or Brighton, you can forget about Stamford Bridge. You can forget about Man United at home. You can forget about West Ham. You can forget about the North London derby because Conte's men probably licking their lips. They've added that trophy, us losing to Palace, into their team. It's crazy. And again, if I go to Mikel Arteta, as I was saying, for me, I didn't understand. I get it, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I do think we're at that squad where they're kind of naive. So when we find something, we just have to kind of run with it until we have to switch it up. But I did not understand the deployment of Granit Xhaka in particular, because again, there's games where arguably we lead it less, but Xhaka kind of, obviously, if I just because it looks a bit prettier, people, if we just slap some Palace. Now, if we focus on our back five, including the keeper, right? Slap Leno in there, or better yet, Ramsdale. Yeah, if we focus on these, man, yeah. Tavares there, yeah, obviously. Now, obviously, AU, Mateta, big up Conor Gallagher, by the way, and Zaha, them man, they're going to fancy it. They rightly so. They all savaged us. Zaha, for me, man of the match. Mateta put in a shift and whatnot. Mateta on the last shoulder, getting in between the centre halves, getting into handbags with Gabriel, pulling over to Ben White. Zaha just savage with it. Skillers, you know what Zaha's thing is, yeah? For Tavares in particular, naturally, bro. Like, we could have went with a back three, but all right, cool, we're not going to do that. We know Tavares is shit defensively. We know he's young. We know he ain't played. We know, like with Cedric, they're going to target him. We know he struggles defensively. So why are we not? I'm not even trying to criticize Tavares now, because he's, as much as he was poor, bro, man, he's a mediocre player thrown to the wolves. Why are we not helping, man? I didn't understand. We're making Xhaka do this running forward thing. Xhaka's running forward, doing this bullshit 8 thing. Lacazette's dropping into the 10. Odegaard's doing a bit of everything. Saka's holding the halfway line. Partey's in some deserted 6. I don't know what we're on, but specifically to Granit Xhaka, let's make him Xhaka. What I didn't understand is, why didn't we do what we normally do, where he pulls over into this flank and then Lacazette and Odegaard can make up the difference in his absence, kind of doing what they're doing. Xhaka pulls over and talks. Tavares can get tight. Xhaka can screen, or Xhaka can do that and let my man go. And then communication. Then you've got Gabriel over there. You've got everything else over there. That's why I was saying earlier, maybe you could have just back freed this whole thing, quickly. Just made a back free quickly. And then even you could have went with Tavares. And again, you've got Xhaka or Gabriel and Holding to protect the thing. And I think with Holding and Tomiyasu, more so Holding, the first and second balls, man. Obviously, I do think Smith Rowe started ultimately because he's got a better relationship down the left-hand side with Nuno. But I would have went with that. Could it have been worth going with Martinelli, because Martinelli's pressing presents issues. We didn't present issues until it was too late. And even then, we conceded again. So, bro, it's shambolic. One of the worst performances of the season. It's been coming. The good thing is we've got a platform to build on.